We are back at it again here with Dealership Digest. Today, we're talking about the interview and qualification. Now, I know a lot of you salespeople out there don't interview and qualify as much as you should, and that's one of the biggest reasons you're missing deals. You could be putting out more units, more cars, more RVs, more boats, more motorcycles, but you choose to just show your customers products and answer questions for your customer without actually qualifying them to see, what they're looking for, what they're going to be using it for, where they're going to be going, and all these different things that you need to learn when you're interviewing your customers. The fact is, customers are going to buy with emotion and they're going to justify with logic. We've said it time and time again on the Dealership Digest show, and that's because it's so important for you to understand. Your customers are buying with emotion. They don't buy with logic. They don't buy a new car because it's logical, right? Say I got 40,000 miles on my car. I still have a bunch of money that I owe the bank. If I sell my car, I'm going to lose money, or if I trade it in, I have to roll over negative equity. People do that all the time. Is it logical to roll over negative equity into a car? Most people would tell you no. But the truth is, if it's logical to your customer, then it makes sense. And what I mean by that is your customer's emotion rules their logic. If they hate the car they're in because it's too small, because the gas mileage is terrible, because, whatever one of the million reasons why they can hate the vehicle or the RV or the motorcycle or the boat that they have now, then they're going to look for reasons to replace that, right? We're emotional creatures, us humans. We want to make sure that our life is taken care of, that tomorrow is better than today. And if we have products, if there's a new iPhone coming out, think about that. There's people that have had a new iPhone with every iPhone come out. They have iPhone 1 all the way through, whatever iPhone we are on now. I think X or who knows. I can't even remember. They come out with so many iPhones, I'm not sure which one we're on. But my point is this. Does it make sense? Does it make logic sense to trade your phone in every single year? The phones, they work the same. Most of the time, they have the same parts. Maybe they upgraded the camera lens a little bit. Still using the same processor, the same screen, the same everything else, but they just change the name and you buy it. You haven't even paid your old phone off. You're buying a new one, right? Doesn't make much logical sense. But emotionally, we love the iPhone. We want to support the company. We want every iPhone that comes out because we need the newest lens, right? We need the same processor, the same speakers, but we want that extra camera that they added to the backside. Wow, we really need that camera because it takes so much better pictures than the one that we have now, right? Because we're professional photographers that are using an iPhone to capture, high definition photos. No, it doesn't make sense to buy a new iPhone for a camera. I mean, unless you're one of them very specific few, for the most of us, it doesn't make sense, right? So you have to understand your customers are buying with emotion. And if you're not interviewing them to find their emotion, if you're not asking the right questions, if you're not going past surface level, if you're not doing the things you need to do in the interview, then you're not going to learn your customer's true emotions. You're going to turn into just, a walking information person, and they're going to say, hey, what is this? What is that? What's the price on this? What's the price of that? Hey, can I look at that? Hey, can I test drive that? Hey, what about this fifth wheel? Hey, what about that motorhome? Hey, let's look at this yacht. Oh, great yacht. Hey, wow, look at that fishing boat. Show me the fishing boat, right? That's what you're going to turn into if you're a salesperson that doesn't qualify or interview and qualify your customer. You're going to be a salesperson that just answers questions and shows a million products until hopefully their customer decides on the one that they're going to buy. In my sales career, in the early time in my sales career when I had to learn these things, customers were leaving left and right. I couldn't understand. I'd show them the products they wanted to see. I'd answer the questions that they have. If I didn't know an answer to a question, I would go talk to a manager, sales manager, GM, whoever I needed to talk to, service department to get the answers, answer those questions for them, and then they would say, hey, we'll think about it. I'll call you next week. I'll be back to buy it for sure. You'll see me tomorrow. I promise you, Chris, I'll see you tomorrow. I never saw them. They never came. I didn't close the deal. And I didn't close the deal because I was early in my career. I didn't know that customers bought off emotion. I thought that if I just showed them around the lot, answered their questions, that they were, adults enough to say, hey, Chris, I'm going to buy this right now. Write me up. I'll sign the dotted line. Not the way it works. You probably go back to some times that you've bought a car and you can think like, man, I was really giving that salesperson a hard time. I was asking ridiculous questions. I wanted to get, every dollar I could off that deal, right? And if you're going to have customers that are picky, and they're going to do that, then you have to have the ammunition you need as a salesperson to close the deal. That ammunition? Emotions. Now, how do you learn these emotions from your customer, right? You got a good introduction. They come in, you get them in your office, you sit them down at their chair, and they're ready to talk to you. How do you get their emotions? How do you pull them out of them? How do you do that in an interview, right? The way you're going to do that is you got to ask who, what, when, where, why, and how. Now, these questions are so important that I would write them down on a sticky note. You see my laptop right here? I'd write them down on a sticky note, and I would put them on the screen of my laptop. I would put them right in front of my face. I'd put them in a spot where maybe my customer can't see, or, even if they can see it, they don't necessarily know what it means. But what it did to me when I was in my interview and qualify, when I saw that sticky note that said who, what, when, where, why, and how, it told me, hey, Chris, ask questions that start with who, what, when, where, why, and how. The reason being, it's going to prompt your customer to answer deeper questions, right? You can't say, why are you here to look at cars today? And, they say because. I mean, they might, but realistically, they're going to say, well, because, our brakes are going bad. They're squeaking a little bit. We just had 2 new kids, or, we just had some kids, added to the family here, so we need a bigger vehicle. And, they're going to go into the reasons, their emotions, their needs on why they need a new vehicle, right? Because we'll stick with this. It's a vehicle, family comes in, we'll say they're driving a Honda Civic, right? They just had twins. Maybe they just had triplets, right? They already have 2 kids. They have triplets. Now they got 5 kids, 2 parents. They need 7-seater vehicle. They got a Honda Civic. What are they going to do, right? They came to your dealership because, you got a good internet presence. You got your SEO dialed in. You're doing ads online. You're doing your thing with your digital marketing. So, a lot of people are seeing your website, so they're like, man, they got good products here. Let me go down there, talk to a salesperson. Right? They get down there. You're the salesperson that's on the up. You know what I mean? They walk in the door, you introduce yourself. And now we got to learn, who, what, when, where, why, and how you're using this car. What brings you in today? Hey, listen, we just had triplets. We're going to need 7 people to fit in this car. We're driving a Honda Civic right now. The brakes have been squeaking. My family's growing. I want to get something a little more safe, a little more reliable for my family. When we go to the grocery store, for 7 people, we have so many groceries that they can't fit in the Honda Civic trunk. So we have to take multiple trips back and forth to the grocery store. We have to do all of these different things because our vehicle is inadequate for our needs, right? Now, if you're a salesperson that doesn't care about their emotions, and you're going to say, oh, man, I understand that. We have some SUVs, we have some minivans, we got everything that you need. Here, follow me out to the lot, and let me show you all of the SUVs and minivans that we possibly have, right? A lot of you do that. I know a lot of you salespeople out there, I know a lot of you are doing that, and you're missing deals, right? We got to make sure we go past surface level with our customers. What I mean by that is, asking the first why are you here to look at vehicles or RVs or boats or whatever you're looking at, that first why is not enough, right? We have to dig deeper. So this family, hey, why are you here? Because, we needed a vehicle. We have 7 people, so on and so forth. Okay, hey, how is that affecting your daily life? Oh, dude, we hate it. We wake up. Sometimes we have to take 2 trips back and forth from to take them to daycare because, well, we can't fit them all in the car. They have to have car seats because of their ages. So we literally have to, drive the first 3 to the daycare, drive the next 2 to come back, pick up the other 2, drive them to daycare. So my morning is 2 hours longer, right? So you see, I'm on my second why, just my second why. So on the second, we'll call it second surface level. We're 2 levels deep, and you see this emotion I'm building in the customer, right? Again, we go back to the first point I made. Emotion closes deals. What I'm doing here in the interview and qualify is I'm building that emotion. Hey, why is that such a big deal to you? Oh, because my morning is 2 hours longer than it should be. I got to drive 2 different daycare runs. Then when I get back to the daycare run, then I got to go to work. When I get off work, I got to make 2 more daycare runs so that I could pick them up, take 3 back, go back, pick the other 2 up, bring them back. Then I got to start dinner. Or, then maybe my wife's cooking dinner and then we eat. And we have so much wasted time that we don't get to spend time together as a family, right? Now, again, if we're a bad salesperson, we're going to say, oh, man, we got SUVs, we got minivans, we got everything you need. Let's go to the lot. But if you're a good salesperson, you're going to say, well, how is that affecting your life, right? And you're going to keep digging on that emotion because what that's going to allow you to do deeper in the sale is come back to that emotion and use it in your close, right? Because when they tell you, hey, we got to think about it. Hey, we got to go home and, we got to pray about it. Hey, we got to, do all of the million things that we got to watch the Mike Tyson fight tonight and see what happens, and then we're going to make a decision. Customers come up with the craziest reasons why they won't make a purchase, and salespeople are like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, you definitely got to check out Mike Tyson tonight, see if he beats Holyfield again and bites his ear off, right? That's what we got to do. But man, that makes total sense. You go home, you watch that Mike Tyson fight, and call me tomorrow. Right? They never call you. It was because the objection was just that. It didn't mean anything, right? The real reason they didn't buy from you is because you didn't know their emotions and you didn't close the deal towards those emotions, right? If someone said, hey, I need to go watch a Mike Tyson fight, you say, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Why do you need to see a Mike Tyson fight to make a decision on a vehicle that makes sense for your family? Your Honda Civic, you have to take, like you said, you waste 4 hours of your day going back and forth from daycare and driving your kids around because you don't have an adequate vehicle. If you had those, cut those time in half, you'd have 2 more hours a night that you could spend with your wife and your kids, and you would be a much happier person. You'd be more productive in your family life. You would probably be more productive at work because you would be generally more happy. But instead, you're going to leave with a Honda Civic that doesn't meet your needs and not buy my vehicle today because you want to see a Mike Tyson fight? That doesn't make much sense. Buy this car today, solve your family's needs, and get the vehicle that meets your, solves your problems, right? That's a much better close than saying, oh, yeah, call me after the Tyson fight. Or, hey, call me next week. Or, hey, okay, go sleep on it for a couple days and, let me know what you figure out, right? That's never going to close a deal. Again, who, what, when, where, why, and how. We got to use who, what, when, where, why, and how in our interview and qualify so that we can dig past surface level with our customers. If they're looking at boats, hey, why are you looking at boats? Oh, I'm looking at boats because I like to go out every weekend, have fun with my family, my friends. We inner tube, we do all these things. Well, why is that important to you? Oh man, it's important to me because I have a big family. We got 40 people that come out to my house on the lake, and we take that boat out, and the kids have so much fun, and they all love tubing, and I mean, we go through so much gas, it's rather expensive, but I'll tell you what, the memories that we create are priceless, and I wouldn't change that for the world, right? 2 levels deep, a lot more emotion right there. So, take that into consideration when you're in your interview and qualify. Think to yourself, how am I going to go past surface level? How am I going to continue to ask questions to pull on that emotion of my customer so that I can truly learn why they even want to buy a car, boat, motorhome, motorcycle, whatever you're selling at your dealership, so that you can get the deal done and close towards those emotions. Another thing that you got to do in your interview and qualify, you got to get answers to those hard questions. I know one of the big things that I had trouble with in my early years of sales is, someone would come in and say, hey, I love this car right here, right? It's the nicest car on the lot. Of course you love it. It's got the newest features. It's bright and shiny. The wheels are clean, so on and so forth. It's an $800 a month monthly payment. Who wouldn't love that car, right? The problem, they're a $200 a month monthly payment buyer. How are you going to buy that car? You can't buy that car, right? If I don't have that information, if I never interview and qualify them to see, hey, how much are you looking to spend on a monthly basis? How much are you paying right now for the vehicle you're driving, right? If I'm not asking questions like that to see, hey, where is my customer able to purchase a car, then I'm never going to know. Then maybe I say, okay, hey, let's go take a look at this $800 a month monthly payment. Let's go take it for a test drive. They run it around on the test drive. They love it because, again, why wouldn't they love a test drive on a $800 a month car? You take them back to the lot. You write the numbers up. You show them the monthly payment, and they're like, holy cow, dude, I need to be at $200 a month. I thought I could buy this car for $200 a month. I don't have any money down. My credit's bad. Can you get the deal done? Right? You just wasted an hour of your time. You're never going to get that deal done. We all know that. So that's, you got to pull this stuff out in the interview and qualify. You got to ask hard questions. Hey, what's your credit score? Hey, just a ballpark. Give me your credit score. Oh, man, I got great credit. Right? That's what a lot of people will tell you. It's happened to me a million times. Hey, Chris, I got great credit. Don't worry about it. Okay. First couple of times I didn't worry about it. I thought they were telling me the truth. Right? We go out, we do a demo. They want the $800 a month car. I'm thinking, man, that's fantastic. They got the nice car. They got the big motorhome. They said their credit's perfect. This is a done deal. Go to finance office and, man, they got worse credit than someone that hasn't paid their bills in 2 years. Right? I'm never going to get that deal done, especially in motorhomes, RVs. If you knew that information beforehand, you could have showed them a less costly vehicle or a less costly RV. Or you could have showed them an RV that had a lot of, positive equity in the unit, so a bank would more likely buy the deal on somebody with lower credit, right? But if you don't ask the question, hey, what's your credit score? And they say, oh, I got great credit. One of the best things that I ever did for this was, oh, you got great credit. Oh, nice. So what's your credit score, like a 550? And they would get, not offended, because I did do it in a joking manner, but they'd be like, no, Chris, of course it's not a 550, dude. I got a 750. I said I had good credit. I didn't say I had, dog shit credit. Oh, it's, I didn't know. You didn't give me the number, right? So that's one way I got an answer to that hard question, right? Said, hey, what do you got? Good credit? Oh, yeah, I got great credit. Oh, what is it, a 500? No, it's a 750, Chris. What are you talking about, 500? Right? Boom, got the answer to my question. Now I know you're a 750. Now I know that, maybe you're a little bit easier to finance, or, that more expensive car that you want to buy. Maybe I know you're a little bit better of a buyer for that vehicle, right? So again, we got to get these answers to hard questions. We got to use who, what, when, where, why, and how to pull the emotion from our customers and to go past surface level, right? Again, we should be asking, what kind of car are you looking for? What kind of RV? What are you going to be doing with it? How are you going to be using it? Why are you buying in it? Why does it mean so much to you to buy a vehicle? Why do you care to own a bike? Why do you care to own a boat? Right? All of these different things. And if we're not using emotion, if we're not using who, what, when, where, why, and how, and if we're not getting answers to those hard questions in our interview and qualify, we're never going to close a deal, right? You can have all the leads in the world, and if you can't take them through a sales process, you're never going to close a deal. So think about these things when you're in your next interview and qualify, because if you want to close deals like a top performer, then you got to make sure you're doing all these different things. We'll see you on the next episode of Dealership Digest. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching Dealership Digest, presented by IMR.
see more episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel or like our Facebook page.
And if you need digital training for your dealership, then visit us online at imr.training
or infiniteMediaResources.com.